What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Today we're here to talk about the brand new superclass Doflamingo that's arrived here on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, and we're going to be taking him into some GARP challenges. Currently, as of December 2021, we've got access to the Navy GARP challenge and also Heavenly Demon, so he's going to be taking those on double Doflamingo teams. Really excited to show you guys the teams today and how they performed. But before we actually get into that, I want to actually talk about the unit itself, break down what he actually does, okay? So let's talk about Doflamingo. He is a strength-driven slasher. Really awesome. He's a slasher because you can use Liberal Hind ship, one of the best ships in the game. Really, really good. Doflamingo's captain ability is going to boost the attacker driven by 5 times, and if you're not driven, you get 3.75 times attack. He also boosts all characters' HP by 1.3, makes driven characters, dex, and quick slots count as beneficial, and also reduces special bind by 10 turns. A really nice effect that he has, and an inherent piece of utility in his captain ability is always nice to have. Now, if you use him as a captain, you'll get access to his superclass special. Now, to activate it, you need a certain character on your team, either Luffy, Law, Diamante, Pika, Treble, Virgo, Sugar, Kaido, Caesar, so any one of those units, or you can have an additional effect that if a support effect is triggered by an enemy action. So that's a really cool effect that these superclass characters have. They've got a character condition, or you don't have to fulfill that. You can just go ahead and use a support effect or just any other type of effect for depending on the superclass character in order to activate the superclass special, which is a nice little change. But as for what it does 150 times his attack in typeless damage to all enemies, and also gives you -1 cooldown to your driven characters. Not the most broken superclass special in the game, but it's decent. It's okay. At least it does pretty good damage, and you know, the cooldown's kind of nice with double Dofi to give you some special cooldown reduction, you know, against special reverse and stuff like that. But generally speaking, a pretty mediocre superclass. And then his special ability, which is quite incredible, does 300 times his attack in typeless damage to all enemies, changes all slots including block to matching, and if you've got an attack buff and an orb boost when you launch the special, it will give your driven characters 1000 base attack for 1 turn and give you a chain multiplier boost of plus 1.4 for 1 turn. He will also, just stating that if you do not have the attack and orb boost active and when you launch the special, he's going to give you a 2.25 times attack and orb boost to your driven characters and heal your crew by 30%. It's a very powerful special ability, and it makes double Doflamingo like heavily non-redundant, because it means that, you know, even though you have one special activation to give you your matching slots, your attack and orb boost, you can still activate a second Doflamingo on the same turn to get a chain boost and a base attack boost instead. One of the great benefits of this unit for sure. He has special cooldown reduction too by 5 turns at the start of the quest. He has Enrage by 300 attack, -3 to increase damage taken, recovery bind by 7, which is pretty good, and as a crewmate, he also reduces his charge by 1 turn every time another driven character uses their special ability. This character is really great, and you guys are going to see in today's video just how great he actually is. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the video using Doflamingo in the GARP challenges. Jumping into the video today, of course, we're going to be starting things off with the Heavenly Demon #1. Now, Doflamingo is a pretty incredible captain. I mean, he's a 5 times captain to driven. He does only boost 3.75 to all other colors, which is probably just an inherent downside to the current superclass characters, and hopefully it doesn't take too long before we get into much more ideal captains. You know, when superclasses first came out, they were like, you know, 5x to 1 color, and then all other colors were 3.75 times. It feels like the start of when super types first came out, where they were only boosting one type of unit by 5x, and then as time progressed, now we have super type characters that will boost, you know, 1 color and also 2 classes by 5 times, and those types of characters are way more ideal to use, right? So unfortunately, as it stands right now, the captain abilities of the superclass characters aren't ideal, right? Saying that though, Doflamingo does have a great captain ability, because not only is he doing that attack boost for the driven characters, the health boost is very, very nice, on top of the fact that he also has the inherent ability to reduce 10 turns of special bind. And driven are one of the worst classes in the game, to my recollection, that in terms of removing special bind. They don't have that many good special bind removers. They've got a couple nowadays, but definitely back when driven was, you know, a little bit less powerful, man, they struggled with special bind. And now we have a captain that completely ignores it, essentially. Also making strength and dex slots beneficial to driven characters as well. It's just a nice addition. Just more matching slots, always a good thing. But honestly, the best thing about Doflamingo is that special ability, and I kind of touched up on it at the start of the video when we were breaking down Doflamingo, but having that effect to give you a full board of matching slots, do really good damage as well, and then a 2.25 times attack and orb boost is quite good, on top of a 30% HP recovery, which, you know, probably isn't good a lot of the time. It's a little bit niche in terms of its actual uses, but, you know, 30% health recovery is always good to have. Now, when I first saw the actual abilities of Doflamingo, I was a little bit let down because, you know, a 2.25 times attack and orb boost, like, it's good, but, you know, we see characters these days that are around 2.5 up to 2.75, and it's way better, right? But the fact that you can use this special ability to kill a lot of things just with one activation, right? You know, full board of matching slots and a 2.25 attack and orb boost, it does give you a lot of damage output, right? You have to put that into perspective. But the thing about it is you don't have to use it as your dedicated attack and orb boosting effect. You can activate your other special abilities first that will give you a better attack boost or a better orb boost, and then you can use his special ability to give you a base attack boost and also the 1.4 chain multiplier boost. And that's one of the good things about it, right? Because you can actually go ahead and, you know, use him as a sub on a team where, you know, you're not even running driven units just to get the full board of matching slots and the 1.4 chain boost. That's definitely something that you could look into. And I think that's probably one of the best benefits of this character, is making even just double Doflamingo like less redundant. You know, typically if you have two of the same captain, you don't really want to activate both special abilities in the same turn. But with Doflamingo, that's actually optimal because you get two different abilities when you activate the special. So I really would love to see more of that as these units progress and develop over time. Moving on now to the secondary clip versus the Navy challenge, and Doflamingo absolutely destroyed this challenge. Luckily, we have access to some very good characters for Driven for this particular piece of content, utilizing Treasure Map Kid with the support of Treasure Map Red Recruit Luffy Taro. What a great combination, as you can use it on the Smoker stage to get rid of the Bind and Despair via the support of Luffy Taro, but because you're already inflicted with Despair and Bind when you launch the special of Kid, he will give you an attack and an orb boosting effect, and he also changes badly matching slots into matching. So, like, it's just built for this, man. And plus, Kid has the limit break ability of getting rid of hunger, so you don't need to worry about that either. We've got a Legend V1 Big Mom, which is a character that I do not use at all, but it was actually very good for this content. Having a Lin character on the team was very good. I did also use it for the Kaido team, the Kaido crew team versus the Navy challenge, getting access to the Otama support on Lin to lock our slots here on the Smoker stage. However, looking back at it, definitely didn't really need it. Just a way to get rid of some of the bind was obviously ideal, because we do also use V1 Akainu on the team, just another character that you just don't see that often. And it's crazy that we're using some of these really old school units to clear this content, but they just work so well for it. It's because Dofi is an amazing captain, and his special ability alone is going to be able just to wave clear so many stages, and that's probably one of the best benefits of Dofi. Didn't even talk about his superclass special, and unfortunately his superclass special is a little bit to be desired. It can definitely help with some, you know, a little bit easier stage or a couple of stages where you've got, you know, a lot of mobs that you have to take on. Activating that superclass special to just generate a little bit of damage towards the enemy, and also giving you some special cooldown reduction. It's not the worst, but it's definitely far from the best type of effect that we would see from like a super type or a super class special. Heck, even Katakuri has a much better super class special, but they balance that out with giving him different effects, obviously, for his special ability and his captain ability. Also, one other thing that a lot of people forget to mention with Doflamingo is he has a fantastic support effect that can attach to any driven unit, and at the final stage just gives you a 0.5 chain multiplier boost. And I'm actually using it in the current Kizuna Clash as well. Actually helps out immensely, giving you just a bit of extra damage. And just the great thing about it is, like, yeah, it's not the highest chain boost you can get via a support effect, but the thing about it is it attaches to so many units. Just any driven unit can get access to this. So that's one of the great benefits of it. Just, you know, providing a bit more extra damage is always really good. So I do have to say that Doflamingo has impressed me so far, but obviously we haven't really used him in too much content, only really on the GARP challenges at the moment, but I definitely want to use more of him moving forward and see how he kind of goes. And of course, you know, the fact that he is only mainly focused around Driven, I don't know how good or bad that's going to be in the long run, but I mean, as a captain, resisting special bind by 10 is never going to be a bad thing, and also generating so many matching slots, so it's going to be a nice unit moving forward. I'm really excited to use more of him. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video today, and if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
こいつら倒せない特別なのさソウルの核